Welcome to Mountain Sledder Garage. Today we're going to be working on my 2020 Chaos. This is one of the sleds we're going to be using this year to do some comparisons. I have another 2020 Chaos exactly like this. We're going to be adding a few things, some modifications to one of them, comparing it to the other one throughout the season. But the first thing we're going to do, if you watched last year's Mountain Sledder Garage, I had a couple episodes on. First one was on the importance of your snow flap, how it works, how it helps to keep your sled cool when you're going down the trail. And then also, it can be a little bit of a detriment when you're out in the deep snow, boondocking as far as dragging behind your sled. So I had another video, made a little kit of how to take your snow flap off when you're riding in the deep snow and then be able to put it back on when you're going down the trail to help keep your sled cool. Well, at Heydays this year, we ran into ROX Speed. I mean, they make a lot of aftermarket products, and they had this one there. This is their new removable snow flap kit from ROX. It was kind of a cool kit. It's a pretty big snow flap, so we're probably going to cut it a little bit. We're going to install this. We'll show you how it works, how to install it, and we're going to be using this year and trying it on this sled here on this 2020 Chaos. So the first thing we have to do, we got to pull off our old snow flap. Now the factory snow flap's held on by 4 rivets across the back here. We need to take those off. And how we're going to take those off, we're going to drill those with a 3/16" drill bit. We're going to drill them out, drill the head out through the back. I already have the 3 of them off, so I only have to take off one more. If you've never taken off rivets before, one of the things that can happen is the bit starts to cut through the rivet as you're drilling it out. The rivet can start to spin, and then it doesn't come out. All it does is burn the plastic of your snow flap. So one of the things I like to do is snap this on the back side. That will keep the rivet from spinning. So let's just show you a little bit how to do that if you've never done this before. If we come around here to the bottom part of our sled, back here where our snow flap's riveted in, here's where our rivet comes through, right there. We're just going to attach on this vice grip. That'll keep the rivet from spinning when we go and drill out the front side. So we'll leave that there. We'll come back over here to the front side. Our drill in there. And that just drills out pretty easily. You can see our vice grips just held on to the back side of the rivet. Now we'll just pull the snow flap off. And now we're ready to install the ROX snow flap. Okay, now we're just going to open this up. We're going to take out the parts. It comes with this big snow flap with a metal plate on the top that's made out of aluminum. There's this other aluminum plate inside the bag. There's this little bag of goodies to help put this thing together. Some instructions. Then the bottom here, there's another ROX plate that's going to go on this. And we'll just tear that bag out, pull that plate off, and then we'll put this all together. So this kit's designed to go together without any cutting or drilling. It's all just simple bolt-on and a couple rivets. So first of all, this plate's going to go back here like this, and it's going to be held on by this front plate. So we're going to take all of our little parts out of this bag. We'll just put them right there. First thing we're going to do, we're going to install this plate, and this is just going to top rivet back into the holes where our other snow flap came off, right across the back here. And I'm going to use these little black rivets so they don't show up as much as the aluminum rivets that came in the kit. So I'll just put all 4 of those across the back. And it's really nice if you've got an air pop rivet gun. Makes this a lot quicker process. You can use a pop rivet gun like this if you want. Just it's a lot of work squeezing this down when you got to do it. I'm just going to hook up my air pop rivet gun, and we'll just quickly pop these in place. All right, now that part's done, we're going to put this plate on the back side of this. We're going to put these washers on the top of this, screw them through here. And those are a little spring type washer. And we're not going to screw it all the way in. We want a little bit of play there. Screw that one in. All this is going to stay in place when you take your ROX snow flap off. What these little nylon lock nuts do, they go on the bottom of here, of your screw, of this, and you're going to screw those on a little ways, and those will let these stay in place without you losing these or them falling off. Remember on my kit last year, you had to unscrew these, take them off and put them somewhere, and hopefully you didn't lose them throughout the day when you're riding, so you had them to put back in place at the end of your ride day. Now this is a 13mm wrench, and that's what we're going to use to screw these on the back side here. You want to tighten them down just enough so you have enough threads showing through here that the nylon part is locked on, so you don't have to worry about that nut falling off while you're out riding. That'll keep all your parts in place, that lock nut. Okay, now this thing is installed, so how this goes on, see how it's got this slot here and this slot here, that slot and that slot. That goes in, this lip here, it goes in underneath that, in between the aluminum plate you put on and then this part of your tunnel. And that just slides in like that. You tighten these down. There we go. We have our snow flap in place. Now you can see how big this snow flap is. Since I don't spend a lot of time on the trails, there aren't a lot of long trails in Utah where I'm trail riding in. If you're living somewhere where you got 15, 20 miles of trail ride in before you can go mountain ride, it might not be a bad idea to keep the snow flap big, so you're going to churn more snow off here up into your track here to keep your engine cool. I'm probably going to chop this off a little bit, and I'll probably chop it off in the similar kind of design as the bottom part of this, just to give it a little bit of a custom look and maybe a little bit of a Polaris look, but we're probably going to cut it off about right there. So I'm going to cut this off there. I bought these little LED lights, tail light strips off Amazon. I'm going to pull this light off. We're going to install this little LED brake light here and just give it a nice custom look. Now I'm going to use my stock snow flap as a template to kind of see where I want to cut this ROX snow flap at. Kind of be a stock one. So I'm going to clamp this on and kind of see, look back here and see where I'm at. Since I don't ride a lot of really long trails, like I mentioned, I don't need a huge snow flap because I don't have a big problem with overheating. But I want enough snow flap that I get the cooling effect of the snow flap. So I think I'm going to try cutting it there. I don't want to cut it too short first because then I can't add to it. But I can always cut off more if I don't like how short I've done it. So I'm just going to mark this with this blue painter's tape. And I'm just going to measure from that corner down to there, 6.5 inches and 6.5. So we got that about straight from there to there. I'm just going to put this up here so I can draw on. I'm just putting the blue tape on so I can draw with a Sharpie, as you'll see. Okay, now since I want this to kind of have this custom look, I'm going to follow the same outline as the stock snow flap, like that. And we'll take these off, take our snow flap out, and then we'll just unscrew these, pull the snow flap off, we'll go cut this off, and then we'll come back and put it on here in just a second. And you can see how quickly this comes off, which is really nice. You can pull it off that quickly, and you don't have to worry about these coming out of place because they have the lock nuts on the back side. So you can just leave this like this when you're riding, but you can just stow this away in your pack here, in your backpack, or somewhere else. So I'm going to go cut this off, and then we'll come back in a minute and show you how it looks. GoPro stop. Now I'm just going to use this battery-powered angle grinder with a cutoff wheel on it to cut this. You could use a lot of things. You could use a handsaw, you could use an electric jigsaw, you can use just whatever you have that can cut plastic. I feel like with this I can get nice straight cuts. I've cut a lot of stuff with these, and I think this will be a nice way to do it. So I got our flap cut. I think it looks pretty nice. Gives it kind of a little bit of a custom edge look. Cutting it to the same shape of the stock flap. Now we're just going to put this back up in here to our little slot. Tighten those down. There we go. We have our ROX Speed removable snow flap. Really nice, super simple. Has a nice little look to it. It's pretty stiff, so you don't have to worry about it getting caught up there on your track. And it's going to put enough snow through here when I'm taking my trail ride in that it's going to not have to worry about my sled overheating. And then when I'm out riding in the mountains, I can just unscrew these, pull that out, slip it in my tunnel bag here, my backpack. Okay, everyone, we got our ROX removable snow flap in place. We got a little bit sitting around in my garage, so I thought I'd put a little color on the snow flap. Got my little LED light here installed. Got my tunnel bag on. Now, the really kind of cool thing about this is, with as short as I cut this, it's still going to give me the cooling that I need. Now, a couple places this can fit in my tunnel bag. If you got one of these Polaris brand style tunnel bags, you can actually fit it right in there, and then you can just snap it down like that, and it's just going to stay. You're not going to worry about losing it. Or I also found out that you can like just slide it under there, and if you don't want it coming out, you can put like a bungee around it. But either of those places, it easily stows away to where if you want it out of the way while you're riding, that it can fit in a couple of spots. I tried to put it inside one of the side panels, but it just didn't quite fit right. So good job on the snow flap from ROX. I really liked it. I kind of like having the nice little LED up here at the sled and show you how this looks. Looks real nice there. Let's hit the brake a couple of times. The brake works really nice on it. It's real nice and bright, the LED lights are. So I really like how this turned out. The snow flap looks real good. The LED lights just adds that really nice custom look to it. Really love this ROX Speed removable snow flap. The more I worked with it and installed it, the more I really came to like it. It's engineered really well, great American-made product. It installs really simply. It's super easy to take off, and the only parts you have to store is the flap itself. And I was surprised how easily it's stored in my Brandt tunnel bag. So kind of a win-win situation on both things. Love the LED tail light. Maybe I'll make another video on how to install that. I didn't want to make this video that long with it, putting that on there too. So I hope you guys enjoy the videos. Snow's coming. I can hardly wait to everyone get out and start riding in the mountains this winter. And we'll see you next time, Mountain Sledder Garage. Make sure you share the videos, like them, subscribe to the YouTube page, and if there's anything you guys want to see or review or anything this winter, send me a message and let me know, and we'll see what we can do about it. Or if any of you are around in Utah and riding, let me know, and we can hook up and ride together. So have a great winter. See you next time in Mountain Sledder Garage.